Hey, thanks for stopping by. This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room show. And I ran across something this morning that I just had to show you. And I'm always looking for frequency listings, frequency databases for shortwave radio, the shortwave radio band. And I ran across one this morning by accident that I've never seen before. It's probably been out there for a long time. And I want to show it to you. And what it is, it's right here. It's the Global Frequency Database at qrg.globaltuners.com. And let's go back to the home page. Here's the home page. And it's all kinds of information about radio reception using internet radios under the Global Tuners website. Let me just show you that briefly right here. This is Global Tuners. I believe you have to join, it's free, join their website group before you can use these online radios. And they're throughout the world, and you have complete control of the radios to receive. Now, this particular setup, only one person at a time can use a radio. So you have to take your turn. Another one, which I'll show you in a minute, you can be multiple people on using the radio, choosing different frequencies. And that is this one right here, SDR.HU. Same concept, different radios, different software. So let's go back to this database. How did I find this database? I was on this guy right here, and I had selected a radio. I was looking for a radio in Japan to see if I could receive weather facts via that receiver, because right now with band conditions the way they are, I can't receive weather faxes even in the United States. So I went to receivers on a map option. I zoomed in to the Japan area, and there's three or four radios that are on right now. They vary. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. And I selected one. I don't remember which one. Clicked on it, and it took me to that radio. And let me mute the volume. So I am now listening and controlling this radio that's in Japan. This particular one's in Japan. And it can have up to, as you can see down here, 4 people listening and controlling at one time. So you can see right now over in Japan, there's a whole bunch of signals going on. And I tried to receive some weather facts, and my setup just wasn't correct. So I gave up, and then I started looking at some of these other signals, just out of curiosity. There's another thing that's nice about this web page and these radios. It has this, I call it a database up here, that shows you what's on a given frequency, and you can click on these tabs and it will take you directly to that frequency. Now, for instance, Radio Australia is off the air, so this one is outdated, but there's another strong station close to it. So let me just click on that. I don't know what it is. Could be data, could be radio. Let me turn audio back on. Okay, that sounds like China radio, and it's coming. Of course, if it's China radio, it's very close to Japan, so it's coming in loud and clear. Now, what I stumbled on is, if you open up the description of how these things work right here, it gives you some hints of things you can do. And one of them I had never tried is this Control Shift or Alt Shift, clicking on the waterfall to look up frequency in online databases. I never tried that. I didn't even know it existed. So I did let me see which one. I would try both of them. Control Shift. So I got Control Shift, and then I'll click on this frequency right here, and it brings up short-wave.info, and it has the frequency plugged in. Pretty nifty. And there it is, that station right there. And let's see what it is, see if it's China radio. No, it's Radio Taiwan. Is that cool or what? That's not the coolest thing. Here we go. I'm going to close that. We're back to here, and it says Alt-Shift-clicked gives you something else. So I'm going to try Alt-Shift, click on that frequency. Boom. And it gets me to this global frequency database, and it plugged in that frequency I was trying to listen to, 9.66, did a search in its database and found some stations. Now, it's got Radio Australia, which is gone. It's got Spain station. That's not it. So I was a little off frequency. Okay, so now let's take a look what's in this database. And again, you can go directly to it and do searches and looking at the database. Again, the database, I believe, is a compilation of reports that people have submitted when listening to a radio on global tuners. I think that's how it works. Okay, so here's the one I did by using this search box. And I could put in another one. Let's see, let's manually put one in. I'll put in 11.175, which I know what that is, and let's see what it finds. Yeah, this is the Air Force HF communications frequency, and there are stations throughout the United States. And here are all the stations that were heard throughout the United States, throughout the world. And then you can click on the frequency to get more stations on that frequency. You can click on the location to get more information about that location. You can click on the call signs, and you can click on the user who reported this. So tons of information. And we got top 10, the general top 10 on Google. Let's just try that one. I haven't tried that one. So these, I'm assuming, are the top 10 frequencies reported on Google, if you did a Google search. I think that's what it is. Again, what this is providing you is stations to try these stations. Okay, let's go over to, there's reception logs. These are logs of particular radios where people have used a radio and they made an entry of a frequency they heard. I haven't done that for a while, so my name probably won't show up. This is one I've used. This is one in North America, Lexington. I've used that one quite often. And I've used it to see what he's receiving, because I might not be receiving anything. And I'm like, well, how is, band dead, or is it just in general a problem for the United States? And then again, you can click on these things that are highlighted and get more information. Then the next option is Geo Search. Click on that, and what it did is it took the station or the location I had already been at and used it, which is Lexington, Kentucky. Let's see what happens. And these are stations that are heard on the radio at Lexington, Kentucky. Wait, see, I know there's no station, there's no radios here in Clearwater, but let's try Florida. Try Florida. Did I spell that right? And we'll try 100 kilometers. And there's some stations. So I can zoom out here on the map and see there's several stations in Florida that's on this network. And these are the frequencies that's been heard on those stations. So I'm way down here near St. Petersburg, so the closest one would be up here in Inverness. Let me just click on that for the heck of it. And it says that somebody had tuned NOAA weather on 162.400. Pretty cool. Again, there's a whole bunch of features you can try on this web page. I'm not going to try to go through all of them, but check it out. And again, it's qrg.globaltuners.com. If I go take all that other stuff out and just put that in, it'll go to the home base right there, and this is what you see. Check it out. And if you haven't used these radios on the internet, they're really helpful. Number one, if you can't receive anything in your location, depending on the time of day or conditions, you can use these radios and listen to things and find things or whatever. And I really like that feature on Global Tuners where you can find radio stations that other people have found that are not listed anyplace else. They're not in any other database. Anyway, if you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. Have a great day. Bye.